Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by A.G. Hines Company. Week in and week out, no one is a bigger supporter of this show, even when we're doing a Sports Source segment on the radio with Tyler and Will. A.G. Hines Company is there bringing it to you. If you have a home improvement project on the docket, start it with a trip to A.G. Hines Company. Gordon Hines and his family do a tremendous job, just as that family has done a tremendous job for more than 100 years. aghines.com to learn more. And hey, I just mentioned him. Welcome in to Tyler Ivins. Tyler, thanks for being here.
John, appreciate it.
All right, man. I am in favor of the SEC going to a 9-game conference schedule. I've made that clear over the years. Jimmy, I think you're in favor of 9.
I am.
Ryan, in favor of 9. Tyler, you haven't been here, but in favor of 9. Okay. Everyone here is in favor of 9. Me, I don't want to see. I could give a hoot about games against. I don't want to see anybody playing Kent State or Chattanooga or Austin Peay or Tennessee's Texas San Antonio. Don't care, don't want to see Alabama play them, don't want to see Tennessee play them. So I think it's chicken for them not to go to 9 games. But are they smart chickens? And here's why. The people who would say they're smart to stay at 8 say so because, well, you want to get paid for that 9th game. You want to get paid. That's 8 more games you could sell. And if ESPN's not going to pay you, don't do it. And there's another group that are like, well, we don't know how the playoffs are going to be decided yet. The Big Ten, they rushed in. Maybe they're foolish to have rushed into a 9-game schedule. Tyler, I'll start with you. I don't like it. You want a 9-game schedule.
Yeah.
But is the SEC smart to be chicken on this one?
100%. And it was the second point you brought up. Until the College Football Playoff Committee gives you some type of parameters on what they're going to be grading on or what exactly it is that's going to build a resume that gets you into the playoff, do what Notre Dame did. Play nobody. Play directional dog meat, sprinkle in a couple of mid-tier Power 4 conference teams. If I'm Tennessee, everybody wants you to stop playing Syracuse's of the world. Nope. I'd find somebody who's in a group Power 4 team and find the low of the lows. Go out there and try to find out what exactly it is. You already brought up Josh did Florida the last segment. They're nuts for what they've done. If I'm where you stay 8, I get about the money aspect, but I'm trying to get one of those dance cards for the 12-team table at the end of the season.
We need like barf bags, like on an airline.
Yeah.
I mean, you may be right and they may be smart, but that whole answer it's the opposite of everything I believe. It's sickening.
I'm here. I'm just trying to think because at the end of the year, people want to make sure you're playing for a national championship. Well, you can have a great season, but if you're not one of the 12,
well, we need a playoff committee that's going to start rewarding people for playing good games.
Absolutely.
What do you think? Are they smart to do it?
Yeah, 100%. Not much the SEC and all these conferences
I never should have asked this.
Not much that they do doesn't make business sense. It's whether it's good for the fans. And, of course, it's not best for the fans, but from a money perspective, the biggest thing always is money. So this is about getting ESPN back to the table with more money. The playoff stuff, that's a nice secondary perk as well. They would like to get more playoff teams in there, up their leverage for the next negotiation, how many automatic bids they can get. But this is smart from the SEC's perspective. And to Tyler's point, it's not just about getting teams in the playoff and all that and making this – the whole industry is set up around ADs and coaches getting as many wins as possible, getting to 6 wins if you're in Florida's situation.
Danny White gets a bonus every time somebody wins a title or wins X games or whatever. Yeah. Jimmy.
It's a maybe. It's not 100%. It's maybe. So let's say after 2 years, you don't get more money from ESPN. You don't increase your package by going to 9 games. Then what good was it?
Yeah.
Right? So, and the first 2 years, what if you, by playing a weaker schedule, you don't get a couple of teams in the college football playoff?
Yeah.
So right now it's not 100%, it's a maybe. You have to see what happens. If they get penalized by the college football playoff, and if they don't get more money 2 years down the road from the TV package, what good was it?
If I'm on that committee and I'm looking at if it comes down to Michigan versus Georgia getting in, and Michigan's game in Week 11 was Indiana. Okay, no great shakes there, but Indiana. Georgia's game in Week 11 was Charleston Southern. Michigan's in. Michigan's in with me. I don't care about the rest of it. It's like, no.
Well, I do care about the rest of it.
Indiana versus Charleston Southern is a win for Michigan.
You can't look at 1 week. You got to look at 12 games.
Well, yeah, of course. But I'm saying if that's the difference,
thank you.
That's a big one for me.
That's why
I'm weighing that one pretty heavy.
But look, I would take Florida's schedule against an 8-game conference schedule against the country this year.
I'm agreeing with you.
So it depends on what your non-conference
That's rare,
schedule
though.
is. Yeah, but it depends on what it is. You have to look at the entire strength of schedule.
Baby
right?
steps if I'm SEC, can we at least get rid of the FCS foes? I mean, look, and look, I'm going to stay on task here a little bit, but the two things I'll give the Big Ten credit for, and I won't give them a lot of credit, they came out many years ago and said, you're not scheduling FCS opponents if you don't already have them under contract. And number two, I like how they got a little creative about starting their season in conference. May not be a big game, but you get it. But you're right, barf bag, you better show that you at least got something on the table to play for a title.
If I'm the Big Ten, if I'm the Big Ten commissioner, then I am getting with my network partners, CBS, NBC, and Fox, who don't cover the SEC. And I'm going to tell them that week when the SEC plays all these laughers at the end of the year, we are hitting that, and we are hitting it in every broadcast. We're hitting it 10 times in every broadcast. We're going to make sure that the voters know who the clowns are and who's playing big boy games. And if you're not ready to put on your big boy pants, then enjoy Charleston Southern. We're going to make sure everybody knows you shouldn't be in the playoff. That's the way I would do it.
The reason the
But
SEC
I'm a mean guy.
Well, the reason the SEC is willing to take that chance, though, they know their 8-game schedule, Tennessee's schedule this year, for instance, is just as strong as a 9-team Big Ten schedule because the Big Ten, as we talked about last week, is not as deep as the SEC. It just now got to the point where it's even
But
But
close.
the
here's
SEC
the
is going to say,
problem.
look at game 12.
But here's the problem. We all sit around here and say, oh, yeah, but the SEC, you know, it's tough because you're playing so many straight games. Well, that's true in the Big Ten, too. Those are rivals. And we could say that the SEC is strong in the Big Ten, but the idea that Northwestern's a joke. Well, if you play Northwestern every year, that's a rival. It'd be the same as playing Mississippi State every year, and we see Mississippi State pull upsets down here. That kind of stuff can happen. But anyway, all right, we move forward. We say two people say they're wise. Jimmy says maybe, and I just throw up on them. When we come back, there are complaints from schools about who their 3 permanent foes would be in a 9-game schedule world. It's not fair. I've come up with a fair way to do it. We'll show you that next.